This one is from a channel called Men Only. Older post-wall leftover women face reality as men are finally waking up to dating and marriage. Okay.
Dating over 50. I am 50 years old and I have been in the dating scene now for about 9 months. So I'm going to share some things that I have learned. I was in a situationship.
Notice what all of these women have in common. They are hiding what they really look like.
And I'm going to tell you how I knew I was in that situationship. I'm going to give you a few red flags during the relationship that I noticed that let me know I was in a situation.
You can always tell by the skin on their chest and their neck. That's how the skin on their face should look too, but it does not. If you want to know what a girl's face really looks like because she has caked makeup on, look at her neck and her chest.
And I'm going to tell you how I got away and ended that situationship. So he lived in my building. He lived 2 doors down from me. This situationship went on for about 9 months. And this guy like literally broke my heart into a million pieces. And I never thought in a million years I would find myself in a situation like this, but I did. So, hey, I'm here to be vulnerable to help you guys. So a couple red flags I noticed on date number one
Get to the
was
point.
this. He basically called his mother crazy and he called his ex-wife crazy. And so those were definitely two red flags. Anybody calls their ex crazy or their mom crazy, that's not a good thing. They should be able to own their part in what happened in
But what if they are? My mom's crazy as hell.
the and why the relationship ended. Okay, a couple of other red flags that I noticed while I dated him was he was very hot and cold with his communication. He wasn't texting me every single day. He would text me and want to come see me the first, for like a week, and then all of a sudden he would fall off the face of the earth and I wouldn't hear from him for a few days. And even also I would see him leaving his apartment with other women. Like he never told me.
You seen him leaving the apartment with other women. What were you doing looking at his apartment?
We would have conversations and he was always like, I don't want a commitment. That's another, not that that's a red flag. That's actually good because he's being honest with me. And I always say, don't look at men's words, look at their actions. Unless they tell you they don't want a commitment, you can pay attention to those words because those words mean what they say. Like he didn't want a commitment. And so we would get together,
So what's the issue?
we would go out on dates, go to happy hour, go grab a drink, and then we'd come back to my apartment. And yes, we would have a great time. Like there was a big physical attraction with this guy. We had amazing chemistry, like insane, chemistry and connection. We had deep conversations. It wasn't
Oh my
all
God.
about like the sexual part of it, right? And so, that was a red flag that obviously he's leaving his apartment with girls. And so it would hurt my feelings, obviously. Like I got really hurt. I would go back to my apartment.
How is that a red flag? He told you he doesn't want commitment. He was honest with you. And I'm confused. Where's the red flag here? She talks so much.
And I would like cry and text him like, I wish I never met you. And then I
She's
would
the red
block him and
flag.
say, that's it, I'm done with him. I'm never going to let him come back in my apartment. I'm never going to go on a date with him again. And what would happen is that would last for about a week or so, and then I would run into him in the elevator or in the hallway, and he would basically, the physical attraction would take over, and all of a sudden it's like my brain took a vacation, and here he would end up in my apartment again, and we would like be making out, like literally. We would make out for hours. Like this guy, I could kiss him for forever. It was like I was in another world when I was kissing him. But then, then he would leave and he would say, oh yeah, I'll come over tomorrow. Oh yeah, I'll take you out on a date like this weekend. And then it would never happen. And so again, I would block him and then I would be done with him. And then guess what? We would run into each other again. And so then I realized what in me is wounded that I'm having to keep, that I'm continuing to go back to this guy because it's not necessarily his fault. It's my
She likes jerks. She likes guys that tell her they're going to take her out on a date and they don't.
fault for continuing to allow him to treat me that way. So what I realized is I had some wounds, and little Heather was still wounded from previous marriages, from my childhood. Basically, it stemmed back, I think, from my childhood and my 16-year-old boyfriend, who was also really
here we
mean
go.
and awful to me. And so I had to do a lot of inner child work, a lot of reparenting.
Didn't she say somebody who calls their ex crazy is a red flag? She just said,
It stemmed back, I think, from my childhood and my 16-year-old boyfriend, who was also really mean and awful to me. And so
you are your own red flag.
I had to do a lot of inner child work, a lot of reparenting, some mirror work,
My
looking in the
goodness.
mirror, talking to my little girl, getting a picture out of my little girl on my phone, or just, I have one on my vanity in my bathroom. I have one on my nightstand. I have one, the screensaver of my phone is the little girl that I look at every single day, and I say, I love you, I see you. Because I noticed, what I realized
Okay,
is
she
that
is
that's
crazy.
what really was happening, is that I had this wound inside of me, and that's why I kept being attracted to this guy who wasn't treating me the right way. He was basically treating me like I'm not enough. And so, that's not a good thing. And it was extremely unhealthy. Like I said, I would block him, and then we would see each other. He still leaves me voicemails to this day. Like on Mother's Day, he left me a voicemail, Happy Mother's Day. It's like, I haven't seen it.
They always have to say some side thing that's besides the point. He still calls me. He still messages me. To show, look, I'm still desired. She's trying to prove to herself, really, that she's still desirable.
The guy, and since January, since he moved out, I don't plan on calling him back
Don't
because he
plan
is not
those?
enough for me. He did not treat me near the right way. I know that now.
Yeah, because he was
but
honest.
you can get caught up in it, and because
I
it was
told you.
familiar to my nervous system, that's another red flag that I noticed, and this is probably the most important one, is how my body felt around this guy. When you're with the right guy, when you're with a guy that treats you the right way, you will feel safe and calm. Your nervous system will feel safe and calm.
So, saying that you could kiss somebody forever, that's not safe and calm. This person is contradicting herself so much and talking so much about things that aren't relevant to the point that I even forgot that she was talking about red flags.
When I was around this guy, my nervous system was like high alert. How I knew that was high alert is I felt nauseated. I couldn't eat. I had no appetite. My heart raced. I literally...
And that makes you want to make out with them and have sex with them? That's... Learn from this, guys. If you make a girl feel like they want to throw up, she'll have sex with you.
relax around the guy. I was completely anxious and on high alert every single time we were around each other, and that was my nervous system warning this guy reminds us of our previous unhealthy, toxic boyfriends or husbands or whatever. This guy kind of reminds me of my dad too, when he would drink. And so I had all these things that were familiar to me, and that...
It's a red flag to say your mom's crazy. It's a red flag to say your ex-girlfriend is crazy. According to her, she has just said, and she also said you have to own up to it, right? She has just said her dad's a drunk, her ex-boyfriend was mean, that's why she has all these issues. So she's being very dishonest, even with this video talking about red flags.
That's why I was drawn to him, is because I had a tolerance for this type of behavior, for this type of treatment, because of what I saw growing up as a little girl. My parents did a lot of fighting and chaos, and then the men that I married were also similar to that. So I have enough knowledge to know that.
Plural,
and so
by the
I also
way.
think that
Men she married, plural.
God sometimes gives you people in your life to show you what you don't want, so that you can
Now
get
she's
really
blaming
clear
God.
on what you do want. So I know for sure that I
Sometimes
deserve
God
a
does
guy
this.
who is kind and consistent and reciprocal and
No, you do
loyal
it.
and all of those things. And that's why obviously I ended it with this guy in January, and I'm not returning his voicemails. I'm not, ever going to unblock him, even from Instagram, like everything. I literally have to have no contact with the guy. So if you're in a situationship and you want to know the best way to end it, you need to go no contact. That means blocking them on social media, all social media, blocking them on
Anybody who takes advice from this person, I question your intelligence.
your phone. Don't return their phone calls, because they can leave you a message if they're blocked, but just don't even listen to it. because if you listen to it, you might get pulled back in. So I hope this helps. I was trying to be vulnerable. I am 50 years old, like I said. I'm dating. I'm trying to learn all the things.
By the way, ladies, when you're 50, you don't need to say you're 50. We know. We know.
About it. I'm trying to be the best version of myself. I'm trying to do all the healing work. And, you know, I'm getting on here sharing my stories with all of you in hopes that it will help you, because I know there's a lot of you out there that are also over 50 and you're dating and you're just trying to navigate through these muddy waters. And so anyways, I hope that helps. I love you guys, and I will look forward to making another one of these dating videos soon.
This was not even a dating video. This was just her rambling on about her fucking issues. And I feel dumber and annoyed and frustrated for just listening to it, because I have no idea what fucking point she was trying to make. Jesus Christ. I can't take this anymore. I'm done.